Hey, beauty queens. I want to talk to you about veils, lies. Lies we were told our whole life that right now it's just a thin veil we keep over our vision so that we don't quite see what the reality is and we can feed into somebody else's dynamic. That's how people get you to feed into the chaos or feed into the icky energy without having sovereignty over yourself. So I want to come in with, let's debunk 2 veils today that kept me stuck. And I know you're probably going to resonate with some of this. So let's just break this down. Intentionality attracts intentionality. So if you are haphazardly dating, you are going to attract haphazard people. And if you are dating, that is haphazard men. And that's not what you want in your life. You want a man that is hot, that rates high on the masculine scale, like he has direction, he has purpose. He wants to fit you into his life. He wants to wrap his purpose around your purpose. He wants to create a divine union. Those are the men that, quite honestly, trigger me a little bit, but those are the men that I want in my life. And those are the men that you need to check. You need to check them over and over and over and over again. And when you find your man, he is already going to be checked into place for coming in at your standards, because your biggest tool in the dating by design toolbox is the word no. When we say no to men, we throw a glitch in their algorithm. When we do not answer questions, we throw a glitch in their algorithm. We are the woman that they cannot forget, but we are also the woman that does not just settle for his standards. That is not my goal. My goal is for a man to come in at my standards. And in order to do that, I have to get out of this girlfriend, boyfriend mentality, or that marriage is a burden. These are the 2 veils I want to talk to you today about. Let's do the first one. Marriage is a burden. Marriage being a burden is something that I learned from my mother and my grandmother. It's something that I recreated in my love life, all of them, even though they weren't marriages. I created this burdensome toll that I had to pay every day in order to have a man in my life. And it became exhausting. And that pattern was recreated by bringing in fixer-uppers. Not men that were established, because they had standards. And I was allowing these men to come in my life and break my boundaries because I didn't have them. My standards were up here, but my self-esteem and my self-worth is down here on the floor. And when they started pushing back, oh, I really don't have the money for this, well, then that was okay that they just got me chips and dip for Christmas. And got my family chips and dip for Christmas. Yeah, that won't happen again. But because marriage was a burden for me, I wanted to try out a guy to see it would work, and it made me feel horrible. And by the time he said, I think I want to break up, which I had to drag out of him one night, I said, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. You need to leave. You have 2 hours. He's like, well, can't I just take my time? No, you have 2 hours. Thank you. Call your family. Because it's my house. No shade with any of this. I have lived through it, which is why I can say with utmost sincerity, bringing in a man that you're running around, efforting, trying to convince him to like you, is only going to hurt you in the end. So the first veil, that marriage is a burden, is keeping you on this perpetual dating thing because you're not going to get married. We can just have this long-term relationship. But because we have other wounds like uber independence, we're afraid to ask for help. We supply our own support, which in turns breeds resentment because our man is not providing and protecting for us. So now we've lost attraction for him. And now we're sleeping in different rooms or scheduling in sex or it's just sex. That creeps into a relationship because your lives have changed. As an empty nester, you have different standards now. And as a matriarch, your standards are now up here because you know that your daughters are watching you. So the second veil is what we've probably seen our daughters recreate in their life, which is this perpetual girlfriend and why it's not good for them. They'll trade in marriage and get divorced after 2 years, but here they are having children and go into counseling with their boyfriends of 7 years. Working your butt off, having the children, dealing with the physical aftermath of creating children and working full time and bringing in a fixer-upper that you're not going to marry because you desire freedom over everything else, and marriage took that away from you because it was burdensome. This is an inverse. We don't date perpetually. We date to mate. Our dating is logical. It's filtering. It's structured. It's solid. It's proven. It is dating for information, not dating to find a man. You are the flower. You are the egg. The men come to you. They're magnetized to you because you can repel the men that just want girlfriends. No, thank you. I desire a husband because I want to be a wife. Alexa, off. And being a wife means that I hold my standards high and I'm only bringing in one man. And in the meantime, I will date myself. And to hurry the process is to update your dating identity so that instead of dating perpetually and keeping your options open because it feels like freedom but feels horrible inside because your man is not treating you or your family or your lineage or your legacy well. You want to bring in a man not just to have a man, because then that's like adopting a pet. They're wild. You never know what's going to happen. You want to bring in a man that has a purpose and he's matching it to yours. And he's not just looking for the girlfriend experience. He's looking for the divine union experience. And your job in order to magnetize that man is to say no to all the men. This is going to expose their insecurities. It's going to expose the veil that all they want is cheap and easy. No, women aren't cheap. And the more women that hear this, the more women that are going to adopt that I require effort in order to get close to me. So, divinely coded dating by design are your incubators to help you come back week after week with the WTF questions. Why do I feel triggered with this man? Because your body's trying to tell you that this is not your man and you need to say no. Because the minute you say no, insecurities are going to come out. Bullying is going to come out. They're going to try all these tactics to put you in your place and grant them access before you're ready. So we need to hold back on all of our personal access. Call it private, call it selective, call it exclusive. your phone number, your address, your body. He doesn't have access to that. He doesn't have access to everything you do. He has to earn that access. And there's skills that you can use that are structured through the evolutionary basics, evolutionary psychology, sociology, social hierarchies, the systems that run our lives. We don't even know about all the systems, but you know what? We learn systems, so why don't we download our own systems to protect our own safety, our own bodies, our own daughters, and our own legacy. All right, ladies, I'll catch you on all the rooms, and good luck out there.